Welcome to week 3 of the Instagram for Bakeries course. Now, this might be the most important week for some of you. We'll be discussing what makes the bulk of our Instagram profiles, our photos and captions. This is where many of us get stuck. What do I post? What do I say? How often do I post? It can get really overwhelming and confusing, but the best thing to do is just start and take action. Once you begin to test things out and see what your audience best responds to, you will know when to post, what to post, and how often. But until you start trying, it will remain a mystery. One important thing to remember is that if you're using your Instagram for your business, you must treat it as a business account. This means no random pictures of your lunch, the new clothes or skincare products you bought, or pictures of you working out. If you want to run a lifestyle account, you totally can. But if you are here to use Instagram to attract your dream clients and get orders, you have to think about what they actually want to see. I see so many people trying to sell cakes on their personal account, and they wonder why they're not getting any orders. You can't expect your dream clients to take you seriously if you're not going to post pictures that will appeal to them. Remember, people will judge your profile quickly, so you have to be intentional with what you post. So let's talk about photos. When it comes to your pictures, you need to ask if it best represents the quality of your work. This means the lighting, the angle of the picture, the colors shown, everything should help accentuate the qualities and features of your cake, where your dream client will stop their scroll and stare at the picture. Now, there are a couple different options when it comes to taking pictures of your cake. You could have professional pictures from a photographer for some of your more signature cakes, designs, and offerings. This option could be really great, especially if you run a cookie or macaron business where you have more of a set menu and don't do that much custom work. You can set aside a whole day for a photo shoot and just have a photographer take multiple pictures of your offerings so you can use it for your Instagram and website. You can set up seasonal photo shoots or whatever works best for you so that you have updated and fresh content more often. Another option is to take photos yourself using your phone. You don't need to purchase an expensive camera. As long as you have good lighting, you can make it work. Make sure to download the action steps this week where I provide some great resources where you can really learn how to take your own photos. Let's take a look at Ivy and Stone's Instagram pictures, for example. As you can see, she uses the same spot in her studio to take pictures. She has a white brick wall as the background, and she places her cakes on a solid table, and she always uses natural light. You can definitely do this at your home or in your studio too. If you don't have a light-colored wall, you can even purchase a cheap foam board from the craft store and use that as your backdrop. Some of you may be wondering, I don't have time to take photos of my cakes before my client picks it up or I drop it off. Here are some suggestions. Make sure your cake is completely or as close to being finished as possible the night before. That way, in the morning, you can take some quick photos of your cake before handing it off. Set up your photo shoot area ahead of time so that you don't need to work on it the day of. I'll share some more tips in the action steps included in today's email. I also want to point out it's totally okay, and I actually encourage you to, every once in a while, post a picture of yourself. Your audience always loves connecting with you and learning more about the person behind the business. All right, what about the other half of our post, the captions? What do we talk about or say? Okay, let's play a game. Which caption do you think is more appealing? Number 1, chocolate cake I just made today. Or number 2, I love my chocolate cakes like I love my men. Decadent, dark, dreamy. Our chocolate cake isn't for the faint of heart. This is reserved for the true dark chocolate lovers. One bite in and you're immediately transported to luscious chocolate heaven filled with fluffy whipped cream cheese clouds. Now pick up your jaw, wipe off that drool, stop dreaming, and make it a reality. Reserve your chocolate lover's cake today. Okay, so hopefully you chose option number 2. Just by reading this caption, you can tell the type of client that I'm speaking to. She loves decadent cakes and enjoys a bit of humor and has a lighthearted personality. This all goes back to our first week of this course. We have to know who our dream client is. Talk to that one person instead of talking to everyone. When you know who you're speaking to, you can zone in and speak directly to that one person and make a bigger impact on them. Plus, it makes it easier to know what to write about if you're thinking about that one specific person, as opposed to trying to find something that will appeal to everyone. Remember, the goal is not to get more followers, it's to get more engagement, to get the right people following you. Captions should focus on these 3 E's: engage, educate, entertain. Before you post your caption, you should ask yourself if it does any or all 3 of these. An example of an engaging caption would be, Christmas is just around the corner and I'm having a hard time deciding which cream puff flavors to whip up. Are you a pumpkin or cranberry person? Asking a question is a great way to get more engagement, and customers love to be involved in your process. Let's take a look at a caption that educates. I'm going to share one of my favorite accounts whose captions are always great: 42 cakes. On this picture, they write, blank semi-naked canvases, and a demonstration of why we ask for your guest numbers to produce a quote for you, not just how many tiers you want. Tiers come in different sizes. And then they go on to discuss sizing and number of servings. An entertaining caption would be the chocolate cake caption that I made up from before. Next comes a question of, how often do I post? Consistency is key when it comes to how often you need to post. You can post once a day, 3 to 5 times a week, but no matter what you do, you should choose a number and stick with it. You don't need to post more than once a day, though. Don't post something just for the sake of posting either. There is no rule that says you have to post every single day. When we think like this, we end up posting things that aren't relevant or are going to benefit us or our audience. Remember, we must be consistent, but we also must be intentional. It's better to post 2 times a week with excellent content rather than posting every day with mediocre content. When it comes to what time to post, you should put yourself in your client's shoes. Are they at work during the day and not going to be on their phone? Maybe try either the morning or evening time then, or the weekend. Test out different days and times and track your engagement to see what does best. All right, let's get into our action steps for this week. Try taking photos of your cakes or offerings with your phone or camera. Experiment with different angles, backgrounds, and try editing them as well. Write out at least 6 captions that will speak to your ideal client. Make sure that it is engaging, educational, and/or entertaining. Don't forget to download the content calendar provided in this week's action steps as well, and start mapping out when you want to post and write the captions out beforehand. I like to choose one day of the week, such as Sunday, and plan out all my content for that week. That means I know what picture I'm going to use as well as what my caption will be. If you do this, you will save a lot of time.